see how they change up their draft priorities. Still keeping a lot of the jungle bans. The Elise and Graves banned away early on. Team Envy banning away the Camille this time around, recognizing they don't want to risk giving it up as a first pick because it's definitely reached that level of priority for me.
We'll wind up seeing if the Lulu or the Virus gets prioritized as a first pick from eUnited. The Ziggs, of course, being banned away from Team Envy side as well. Paulo being one of the ones on the bot side of the map that usually plays that one. And the Rumble ban also coming out from Team Envy. So targeting down on 3 top laners in a row with their bans. Licorice, though, he's got first pick overall for his team. Is it Lulu? Is it Virus? Is it another jungler? I
wouldn't actually mind seeing that Varus first pick. We saw in Game 3 there how powerful it can be when they paired up with the Zyra, a very harassed-heavy lane. eUnited was struggling to deal with it. Game 2 could have been much the same way, but they did get that early gank off to limit the ability to push for Envy's bot lane. Instead, they choose to go with the Lee Sin, the champion that did make that early play, which allowed them to negate the pushing power of the Varus.
Yeah, so it is going to be God Gilius for a 3rd game now here. eUnited, though, has only won one of those matches where he's been playing Lee Sin. This time, it is still going to be the Varus and potentially the Zyra being picked up extremely early on. So Envy continuing to play that very aggressive bottom lane combination.
I don't mind this at all. They already see the other team's jungler. They have shown that it looks like the other team struggles to deal with your bot lane, but because they are finally on the red side, they do not have the bans to deal with the Ashe, something that they have been targeting away from definitely all series long. And now that they have that Ashe, maybe it's going to open up some other bot lane combinations for them. They take the Misfortune as well.
Going for a straight counter pick to the Zyra support in that bottom lane. We haven't seen support Misfortune for a hot minute. Zeyzal himself, don't actually know if he wound up playing it in the Challenger Series. Looks like he has not. So this will be the first time we actually get a chance to see him busting out in competitive play. And it's going to be a very crucial one. Better work out because eUnited backs against the wall in this potential last game for them.
Right, their last chance potentially to qualify into the LCS for the next split. Envy going with that Renekton pick. Seraph has shown that he can dominate laning phase with it, but has not had the most success outside of laning phase with the champion. That is kind of the story of Renekton anyways, but in yesterday's series, there was a game where he had a 2-0 lead very early on and could not get anything else going for his team.
Game number 2 of that series against GCU was the one that Envy wound up winning. Seraph was on the Renekton pick, but it wasn't necessarily because of Renekton they won. It was a 52.5-minute game, and at that point, Renekton is pretty much just a squishy meat shield.
Squishy meat shield, not the best kind of meat shield.
Not the best kind.
You want a durable meat shield.
I definitely want one that's a little bit stronger, but even more top lane bans being thrown at eUnited, with the Gnar being banned away, and then the Vladimir for the mid lane pickup. Talon being banned by eUnited. They don't want to give Ninja over something that would be extremely comfort pick for him. We'll see what the last ban is going to be. Is there another mid lane ban? Is there another jungle ban? Kha'Zix is on the table, so they take that one off.
Prioritizing banning out the Kha'Zix instead of the Rengar. I've not seen Lyra play a ton of it. You assume he can, hovering it right now. You would think that a player of Lyra's caliber can play that champion, just doesn't seem to favor it. Gonna be getting it this time around though in the Game 4.
And it was banned away the last game, which is why he wanted going into that Rek'Sai pickup. So this time around, we'll see if he winds up playing this to quite the same effect that he has in the entirety of this entire best of 5. He's only played one Rengar game in the NALCS so far. It's been a loss. But then again, Envy has had a lot of losses in the NALCS. So.
Yeah, it's not really fair to point to a single champion for that kind of stuff. We'll see what eUnited wants to do to counter out this Renekton. Looks like they are going to go with the Poppy. Licorice ending up on a tank finally. One of the first times we've seen him on those in a while. We always said we were impressed with his tank play over the course of the Challenger Series. Gets a chance to show it here. As well as the Ahri pick. I kind of like this. We saw that Ninja plays a decent Ahri. It's a good hybrid between a control mage and an assassin. And we've seen that Ninja sometimes struggles on the standard control mages. Gonna end up with the Syndra to combat that Ahri pick.
It's actually pretty interesting if Ninja has been playing the Syndra quite effectively or not. It's been something that they haven't necessarily been just going for. And taking a look at his games in the North American LCS, I don't actually think he's played a single game of Syndra. So this will be the first time we get a chance to see him playing it. Hopefully it goes a little bit better than the Vladimir, as that was something that was a little bit newer to Ninja's champion pool as well in the game against GCU yesterday, and he definitely struggled against another assassin pickup in the LeBlanc.
Yeah, it's definitely a scary matchup for the Syndra. She does win it, obviously, like a lot of the matchups that she has, but you do risk getting opened up by jungle pressure. So we've seen that Gilius likes to play a lot around Fox. We saw some of that synergy finally coming into play. Last game, they had a really nice dive around the mid lane, finishing off Ninja. And if they can get that stuff kind of going earlier on without having a losing bot lane, now that they seem to have found a counter pick for that Zyra, this could be a great game for eUnited.
eUnited need this one to be a great game to force a decisive game number 5 in this best-of-5 relegation match. They wind up losing this one. They're going back to the Challenger Series for the duration of summer. Team Envy, they wind up winning this one. This has got one more match on Sunday between the winner of either Team Liquid or Goldcoin United going on the other stream right now. If you're believing in Team Envy, hashtag EnvyWin. If you're an eUnited fan, hashtag EUNWin. Get on Twitter, tweet at LOL Esports who you think is going to be taking this matchup. Definitely different looks at team compositions this time around. The Renekton's gotten into Seraph's hands, and for some reason there's a Poppy on the Rift here for eUnited. It's game number 4.
Tom's favorite champion, everybody.
It is my least favorite champion in the world.
Against the Renekton pick, it tends to lose early on, but it has a lot of power come the mid and late game with its ability to block dashes. Obviously, Renekton relies heavily on his slice and dice to get involved in team fights. If you can block him out, he's going to be stuck hitting frontline, and generally, Renekton is worse at that. And of course, the Rengar pick as well, wanting to jump in there. As soon as you hear that noise, wait a little bit, see if he might come in, get ready to press your W. Sometimes you can do it on reaction, sometimes you can do it on prediction, depending on the situation. And it just makes it a lot harder to play Envy's team comp out from here.
More importantly, it gives eUnited a front line, which is something they haven't really had in this entire series. They didn't need one when they were playing Camille. That was fine. They had a pseudo front line in the fact they had like a Lee Sin and a Lulu to maybe buff them up if they needed it. But now it gives them literally a steadfast presence in the front of the team fight to block out Envy and trying to dive down onto their backline carries. Definitely on Ashe as well. One of his most successful champions throughout the Challenger Series. Had a little bit of issues on it yesterday. This time around, we'll see if it's a better setup between him and Zeyzal playing this Misfortune pickup.
Could have been a little bit of nerves yesterday. Who knows? I mean, this is, like we said, they are rookies. They played a little bit in the scouting grounds, but not nearly as high a stakes as you have in the promotion tournament here. Now that they are playing in this live tournament, might be having to deal with a little bit of those nerves that they might not have had playing from the comfort of their homes.
It's only the second tournament they're playing on stage here at the LCS. Scouting Grounds tournament definitely was on Team Infernal Drake. Did not make it to the finals. Ocean and Cloud did, which is why they're the best Drakes, Mark.
Yep. Scouting Grounds was secretly a hidden tournament to decide the best dragon, in no way help out the challenger scene.
That's why my favorite Drake is Team Ocean Drake. They won. But definitely himself did wind up playing with eUnited on the stage here for the finals. They lost out to Goldcoin United 3-1 in that. And it was a little bit hard pressed in that matchup, specifically against Mad Life and MASH in the laning phase. He's had a difficult time against Apollo and Hakwa this time around. Now he's got hands on Ashe again. An early lane shove going slightly in eUnited's favor, which, I mean, it seems like a very, very small advantage, but Envy was usually the one getting the best of those level 1 trades. Game number 3, they chunked out Zeyzal and forced the heal extremely early on. Sorry, that was game number 2. They chunked out Zeyzal extremely early on in Blue Summoner spell, so eUnited a little bit more comfortable on these picks.
Right, I think a lot of these matchups can go either way depending on how jungler influence changes them, and this has been a series with a lot of jungler influence. You've seen both Lyra and Gilius getting involved extremely early on in these games. And this time around, it's nice to see that eUnited have a bot lane that can actually scrap it out with Envy's. And Fox, despite not being in the best matchup versus the Syndra, I would say that Fox has more experience on the Ahri pick than Ninja does on the Syndra pick, as well as being stylistically better for how Fox wants to play versus Ninja likes being aggressive, but without mobility and a true kind of all-in combo, it feels like Ninja doesn't play those champions out quite as well.
Sometimes we see him struggling with just the capabilities of his damage. We saw his Vladimir play yesterday, underestimating the damage from the LeBlanc pickup, but also overestimating some of his damage, and he was flashing aggressively at level 3, utilizing that Ignite to try to pick up a kill on the LeBlanc, but having Phoenix just basically walk away with just slivers of HP.
Yeah, I did miss that Crimson Rush during that attempt.
We'll see if his Syndra play is a little bit more up to par. Meanwhile, this top lane here, probably going to be going in favor of Seraph. As you mentioned, the Poppy pickup doesn't really do anything against the Renekton to win the lane phase. However, all Licorice has to do is get to the point where he gets 1 or 2 tanky items and then just not die.
Funnily enough, we were just talking about how important the junglers are in this matchup. Both of them have been playing relatively aggressive over the course of this series, and what's always funny during a best of 5 is people try and throw what are basically change-ups, mix-ups in how they've been pathing, and this time around, both go for full clears extremely early on. You saw Lyra did a topside red clear, pretty standard stuff. Rengar gets very low with the recent nerfs to his base armor, so then he goes down and clears the bot side. And during this time, Gilius just hard farmed his first jungle clear. This is something Rush used to do really well, as Seraph gets stunned up a little bit on the top side here.
Yep, quick little slice and dice out of there. Seraph takes a A little bit of damage against this Licorice Poppy matchup, but as you mentioned, jungler with a different style of pathing this time around. Lyra making his way to his top side. Definitely actually gonna have to flash away, but Zeyzal's kind of split in the opposite direction. He's got no mana available. Apollo's not gonna be able to pick up the kill though.
That's what I was saying. Despite the fact that you can say United's bot lane can scrap pretty well with EnVyUs, it's still a little bit of a skilly matchup. If you land those roots, you can take a lot of poke from the plant damage as well as the piercing arrow from Varus.
Top side of the map, Lyra. We saw him making his way through eUnited's jungle. Blast coming over the wall and has now gone back around towards the top lane, but is going to wind up backing away as Seraph. Large amount of minions being pushed in right here. It looks like he's just going to wind up recalling back to base. Has a decent chunk of change in his pocket. See if he winds up picking up anything.
You see, so far, jungler is not getting super involved. I think the latest first blood we had this series was around 6 minutes, right when people started hitting those level 6s. So might be in for a little bit slower of a game. And if it does end up going that way, both these team comps actually do scale relatively similar. You see Envy probably does not have as strong as a front line of eUnited, but the Rengar pick tends to scale a little bit better than the Lee Sin. You probably say the Poppy pick scales better than Renekton. Syndra and Ahri are both really skill shot dependent champions come the late game and will always have burst potential, but it's very execution heavy with 2 utility 80 carries and 2 more damage centric supports. So very similar style comps.
Bot lane, we also saw definitely taking a large chunk of damage. Fox going forward, missing the charm out on Ninja. Instead, going to be wanting turning around the Syndra ultimate. Lyra is there to try to chase through. Burns the Spirit Rush from Fox as well. So ultimate for ultimate traded, and Ninja getting the better of that deal.
Yeah, and the big thing is that Ninja with his ultimate actually did damage, so getting a lot of control around this mid lane. Lyra might be able to move in for some vision control, but doesn't look like he's actually going to go for that. Zeyzal sticking around the bot lane, also fighting for some vision control. So Ninja getting some early lane dominance here, but not actually able to convert into kills or summoner advantage.
Is going to get a quick shove out. Both of these mid laners have gone back and picked up double Doran's range for themselves. It's like a lost chapter, and a control ward will be added to the inventory of Ninja as he does complete his own back. Bottom side of the map, both of those 80 carries have also gone back and completed Bilge Ward or Cutlasses for themselves. Zeyzal getting chunked out a little bit earlier on than Hakuo in that first trade around the bottom side. Has already gone back and upgraded to his Frostfang. Hakuo, in the meantime, content on the Zyra to just sit in lane and sustain a little bit. Has not gone back for himself, but will be taking a decent chunk of damage from these double ups coming out from Zeyzal's Misfortune.
Very annoying champion to deal with if you are the Zyra. Your plants go down easier. You have no way of shielding or running quickly out of the Make It Rain. So for the most part, MF has a lot of free harass down onto the Zyra pick and the Varus as well.
Top side of the map, we see Renekton continuing to shove against that Poppy, who actually wound up going for a second Doran's Blade in addition to another blade in the form of a long sword. So Seraph going to be pressing small advantage in this top side, only about a 5 CS advantage for the Renekton over the Poppy. Bottom lane though, definitely's gotten a little bit of a CS advantage over Apollo, but the trade's gone down onto Zeyzal. Has to flash away from that when the Ignite going down extremely early. Definitely saves his heal, but still a summoner for summoner trade on the bottom side.
Hakuho getting his lane some big advantages here. Lands another root, gets another flash, and Envy doing pretty well for the most part. We'll have to see if now that Lyra has hit 6, he wants to make his way down there, maybe go on one of these flashless bot laners.
Lyra making his way down from mid lane to the bot side of his map. We'll see if he pays a visit over there. Now the Throw of the Hunt has been acquired at level 6, so he has that available. Gilius at the same time has the Lee Sin kick as he is level 6, and we'll see. You mentioned junglers were kind of a focal point for this matchup, especially in the first game, let alone the entirety of the series. They've been relatively quiet so far. We haven't necessarily seen any real attempts at ganks. Lyra kind of showed up mid lane after Ninja had chunked out Fox and then was waiting around top side, but nothing really happened. So both of them, you said they changed up their pathing. They also kind of just changed up their style of aggression right now and just dialed it all the way down.
Could be a little bit of nerves as well in this potential elimination game from both teams. Envy win, they go on to keep playing tomorrow. eUnited will be sent home to play in the Challenger Series again next split.
A lot at stake for eUnited in this game as Gilius is going to be the first one to make his presence felt. Bot side, Apollo flashing away from the Ash Arrow. Gilius not going to wind up showing up there. Fox, though, going to be running into a wild. Lyra does have the Spirit Dash away from the Bola. Though he has a blue buff on, deciding to go back in, lands the charm on the Lyra. He has Gilius nearby. Lyra has to flash away from that as well. Now Ninja's going to get the scatter of the weak side on the Gilius. He kicks Ninja backwards. Gilius dropping down extremely low. Bottom lanes are roaming up as well as Haku is trying to cut them up. Dodges out on the Stranglethorns. Ninja lands a Dark Sphere. It's not going to be enough. Definitely in the meantime has to heal up Zazels. Now they're getting collapsed on. First blood goes over to Envy. Make it a 2-kill trade as Apollo picks up Zazel.
A very scrappy engage that starts around the mid lane. And Ninja able to trade onto Gilius with Fortress Lava action. Now Ninja gets jumped on by Fox, not actually able to find the kill. A good attempt by Fox, gets the cleanse out, but trades the flash for it.
So 2 kills picked up there by Envy in a trade. Fight, like you said, started around the mid lane, but after the bottom lanes collapsed, it went on for so long with nobody else dying that it wound up transitioning down into the bottom lanes that wound up falling.
Right, and the big thing, like we were saying, is the fact that Ninja's actually able to trade back onto Gilius pretty heavily here. A good open up onto Fox, forces ultimate out. Fox sees an opportunity to re-engage now that Gilius is behind him. Lands a nice charm there onto Lyra, but Ninja, during that time, has chunked out Gilius extremely hard. And Lyra pops his ultimate, so Fox cannot keep looking for him. Then Hakuho cuts off the escape path, forces Gilius into the pit. He's able to flash out, but that leaves his bot lane stranded now as Apollo moves in to help out, and Lyra joins back in again as well.
You see the Stranglethorns Chain of Corruption combination once again paying huge dividends for Envy as they were able to lock up down onto Zazel, force Gilius to take a weird pathing, and have definitely get knocked up in the middle of all of that as well. So 2 kills picked up for Envy. Have a 1,500 gold advantage now at the 10-minute mark. Not the largest lead they've had in this entire best of 3. But they do have a lead, so it's not the same as game number 2 where they came out of the early game with a small deficit against eUnited.
All right, and we've seen, for the most part, whoever gets the lead tends to win the game. And they have a lot of tools to keep trying to push this advantage. Like we said, they have ganks set up in almost every single lane. You have Lyra on one of the best post-6 gankers in the meta. And you have summoners down all over the map right now. Only Deathly and Licorice having their flash available for about the next minute. So Lyra's going to have a small window here to try and blow this game further open for his team.
Sounds like a field day for an aggressive jungler like Lyra as he is making his way down towards his bottom side of the map. No flash available on Zazel, but Gilius is nearby.
Oh, we'll teleport's coming in.
An early teleport's coming down. A teleport from Seraph completes first. Licorice is going to try teleporting in. Looks like mid lane and jungler in the river here. Actually getting stopped up in the middle of that Keeper's Verdict. So Licorice is going to wind up going down extremely early. Seraph gets kicked back there by Gilius. Fox has joined the fray, but he's going to get left on by Lyra. They've changed targets down on the Gilius as he's the one that gets boloed up. He hops over to a ward, dodges out on the Orb of Deception, hits it on the way back. Flashing forward, Gilius is going to get eviscerated there by Ninja. Meanwhile, Apollo on the backside going to collapse on an Enchanted Crystal Arrow. So it will be eUnited's bottom lane picking up 1, but they lost 2 on the top side.
2 for 1 in favor of Envy there. Apollo getting a little too aggressive, trying to follow up on the chase that the rest of the team was going for. He gets picked off in the river. And nice play by Lyra, being able to keep his forward momentum there, jumping onto the ward, continuing, flashing forward eventually. Did miss the root bola, but still able to get the cleanup kill onto Gilius. And things continue to go further in Envy's favor, now up to a 2,000 gold lead off the back of that one. No objectives taken yet, though.
Nope, lots of towers still on the map, including that first tower goal. Take a look at the replay here. It all starts off from the fact that there was a play being set up by Envy on this bottom side of the map, and the immediate teleport in from Seraph.
Just much better positioning here by Envy. They get the teleport in first onto Gilius, forces Licorice in, but he's running into Ninja, who had the inside pass, so they're able to focus down onto Licorice right away, finish him off. Does not end up channeling or finishing off that Poppy ultimate. Would have been useful even just to send Seraph out of there, and then it's an easy chase down with the 3-man core on the top side, eventually getting onto Gilius as well. Here's Apollo getting a little too far forward, easily turned back on. Both these bot lanes having utility AD carries and damage supports. If anyone gets caught out of position, they get blown up.
Yep, meanwhile, Zazel might get getting blown up himself as the supports, as you mentioned, dealing a ton of damage here. Forces the flash out of him here. The Ignite goes down. Apollo getting the snipe down. One last Dark Sphere being thrown onto him with a force of will means that a killing spree has been picked up for Ninja.
Talk about getting caught out of position, going for some vision control on his own there, gets caught out by Hakuho. Now Fox in a little bit of trouble, has to use his ult defensively for what feels like the 4th time this game, and goes down after the ultimate by Apollo locks him down.
Apollo locks him down. Ninja winds up dealing a ton of damage. The unleashed power comes through even with the exhaust, and Envy are continuing to pile on the kills in the early game here. They're on a ward. So Gilius knows something is up here. He's going to wind up landing a kick onto that plant instead. Haku and Apollo Might be looking to go back down towards this bottom lane here. Like you mentioned, tower still available on the map. Apollo actually going to walk through deftly here. Uses the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, burns the flash. Gilius on the backside gets caught up by Hakuo. Tons of damage coming out from the Zyra. Forces Gilius to get away.
Ninja still has the inside track, though, moving down from mid lane. So it's very hard for eUnited to keep trying to force around there. The big thing we're talking about, would Ninja be able to play the Syndra pick well? Proven all the doubters wrong so far, 3-0-2, and has been the most important member in a lot of these early game skirmishes, being able to turn back onto Gilius in that first one to force him into a bad position, as well as being first on the roam in that second fight in the bot river.
Yeah, more importantly, the fact is, it's not just the damage, but it's the skill shots and the stuns that are coming out of Ninja that are being highly influential in some of these trades. The Throw of the Hunt gets used by Lyra, but Fox is going to wind up backing away from that one, does not want to go down.
Sniffed that one out, able to charm him during his ultimate, stops him from being able to jump on him, but Fox is in a pretty good position anyways. Would have been hard for Envy to find a kill there.
Envy have found 6 kills so far, only to the 1 of eUnited, continuing to grow a 3.3k gold advantage in their favor. All the games that have gone this way for Envy have resulted in them winning. However, how easy it has been to a varying degree. Game number 1 took them a little while, even though they had a 10,000 gold advantage. Game number 3, not nearly as long, but they had the Camille that was super, super far ahead.
Good play by Ninja there, taking the safe way back around to his mid lane. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. Still hovering around his turret. Gonna go around. And if you look at the Dragons this series, I feel like we've had a lot of Oceans and Clouds. Have we seen a Mountain or Infernal yet? I don't remember.
Nah, not at the top of my head that I can remember.
They're in a bad spot.
No, Lyra's gonna have to flash away here. The Spirit Rush over the wall from Fox, forcing the charm out as well. Meanwhile, Ninja wants to keep going for this one, forcing away the mid and jungle duo from the side of eUnited. And I was talking to your stuns before, Ninja. You just missed that one.
They're gonna miss some of them eventually, especially against a fast opponent in Ahri. Here's an arrow. Coming in.
Coming in from bot. Ooh, the insta cleanse, but immediately followed up with a charm means Ninja's gonna eat that bullet time. He winds up going down, but they do want to trade a kill back on the Fox, so they use a lot of resources just for a 1-for-1.
Good snipe out there by Deftly. Caught a lot of heat yesterday for his Ashe play, showing that he does have a lot of experience on the champion there. Mid laners train kills, but they do get the shutdown onto the Syndra, which is nice to get that little extra bit of influx of gold back in your pocket. Unfortunately, going to the Misfortune.
Tends to happen when you play support Misfortune. You deal a lot of damage, you wind up picking up a couple of kills for yourself. You're just trying to help out. But meanwhile, Lyra is going to be jumped down the Licorice. There's no mana available, so no Steadfast Presence available. Looks like that Licorice does have to flash back away, trying to juke and dodge through the brush, but there's a Seraph behind him already, and another kill goes over to this 2-0-1 Renekton.
Well set up by Seraph there. He cut the minion wave to stop Licorice from being able to run away. Licorice tries to go and stop the minion wave from getting into his turret, but Lyra is up there to jump on him, and then Licorice is basically left with nowhere to run. He has no mana to try and make a play either. Gilius, though, not trying to let that go unpunished, is pressuring down around this bot turret, so bot lane can hopefully get some damage done onto it, but now he's caught out of position.
Chain of Corruption into the roots, into Seraph teleporting in. The poke damage is huge from the rest of Envy's bot lane, and Seraph flashing forward for killing spree, gets the stun, the auto attack reset with the Tiamat, and that's another kill picked up for Envy, 10-2.
eUnited not playing around the fact that Licorice is still dead at this point. They will not have a teleport to match, even though both teleports were available. Very smart play by Envy to pull the trigger on that one, knowing that they had a small window to punish that aggression by eUnited. Gilius, even though he's wrapping around the turret and pressuring onto Envy, he's not actually safe doing so. They just turn onto him.
Oh, Ninja gonna get charmed up. The Spirit Rush comes out there from Fox. The Exhaust goes down as well, so the Unleashed Power comes through. One more Orbit Deception gets flashed away from, so Ninja's barely gonna survive.
Good force by Fox there, not actually able to pick up the kill. Ninja did flash the last bit of damage that could have finished him off. And Apollo is going to finish off that turret in the bot lane, grabbing the first of the game.
Yeah, and this is just a replay of what happened down here. Just a CC chain is massive from Envy's bottom lane. From the time Seraph is teleported in, Gilius is basically already dead.
Right, and then it's the kind of thing where might not have been able to make that play if Licorice was alive or the teleports weren't available, but Envy recognized this is a play that they can make. There's a lot of chain CC onto Gilius, who isn't that tanky yet. And that's one of the things that you can do is whenever a team is pressuring you under your turret, kind of setting up one of those potential dives, you can kind of jump the play a little bit by making sure that you open up on the weak side. So there you saw Gilius kind of isolated and alone. They just drop enough damage onto him that even if they didn't kill him there and no teleports came in, they would have stopped that dive and would have held off on that pressure.
eUnited still taking what they can get, though. have picked up their first Drake of the game, a Cloud Drake at that. Next one on the map is going to be another Cloud Drake. So Mark, your answer right there. We're only getting Cloud and Ocean Drakes.
Someone check the RNG. It might be broken.
Not too sure about that one. EnVy, in the meantime, did push down and get the first tower of the game, so the first tower gold going over to their bottom lane. The push back from eUnited to try to get a tower in response is getting met with a chain of corruption, though. Hakuo is going to wind up shut down Zeyzal before the bullet time to even channel. A double kill picked up for Hakuo, 206, Zyra hard carry.
EnVy's bot lane, like we were saying, a little bit of the unsung heroes over the course of this series. They get the better of the counterpick matchup. Hakuo was forcing flashes out before all these fights actually started breaking out, and then they've been in position to get involved in the skirmishes earlier on, and so far they're ending up with 5 kills around in their bot lane to just 2 on the side of eUnited.
After that bot lane skirmish, they rotate up towards this mid lane area. It's now with about another Enchanted Crystal Arrow, goes a little bit wide to the left on Ninja. So eUnited not going to have that to respond to a potential dive here as EnVy is trying to set something up here. Fox going to get stunned up, going to get rooted up, going to go down. Right. Unleashed Power comes in, but it teleports here from Licorice, but he's got no team.
Yeah, he's caught in the middle of 3 people now.
Where's he going? Licorice Poppy is stuck here as Ninja's going to try to stun him up. One's getting some damage down. He's running back down towards the bottom, but EnVy's already cut off his escape method. Gilius has gone down over there. Poppy now is going to get collapsed on, and yeah, just going to wind up going down. And eUnited seems to be just falling apart at the seams.
Yeah, eUnited seems to have lost all the composure. They were talking about how important it was to not let the bad situations affect them. After this game had gone sour a little bit, feels like they're just getting desperate, forcing all over the map. And once again, we're just talking about Hakuo. He proves he is worthy of the praise, lands a root over the wall, sets up Ninja for the easy kill. And then eUnited, seeming like they're getting frustrated with all these plays not going in their favor, force a teleport and try and force around the bot lane, and both of those get turned around.
15 kills to 2 and potentially more.
Yet.
Multiple towers and kills going down as EnVy are just mopping them up. 17 to 2. Almost a 12,000 gold lead 20 minutes into the game. eUnited are just haphazardly throwing their bodies at their opponents here in Team EnVy, hoping they can pick up some much-needed kills. Ninja's actually going to get charmed up, utilizes the cleanse late, and then an Unleashed Power comes back up. Fox goes down.
eUnited in full tilt mode, it seems like. Just trying to get anything down. They see low health bars on the side of EnVy, think they can. They just offer themselves up for more kills. Ballooning up to 18 kills now on the side of EnVy, seemingly out of nowhere.
12,500 gold now. Is this, I don't even know which kills this is. I guess this is the one where Hakuo deserves his praise, getting the root over the wall and the follow-up there from Ninja.
That's the last kill that made sense, because after that, we see the teleport come in. They try and force around the bot lane because Apollo's a little caught out, but he's not that open, and you see Lyra still in range to try and turn this one around. Gilius pops right into him. Hakuo roamed down from that mid play. They finish him off. In the meantime, during all of this, Ninja was messing around with Licorice, chunking him low, and now he's off on the flank by himself. Easily turned on there. And you see Apollo having a good time. Look, the eyebrow raise, I don't know what that was. that eyebrow raise is though, okay.
Apollo's just happy that he's sitting here 4-1-7 on Varus. His lane ally in Hakuo, 3-0-10 on this Zyra pickup, and they 18 kills to 2. 13,000 gold ahead. They're just a couple of towers and a Nexus away from making it to Sunday's match for a chance to get back into the North American LCS.
Don't want to lose focus on this game, but it's looking pretty good for EnVy right now. eUnited has not shown the ability to come back and in the game so far, and EnVy is already 14,000 or 12,000, 14,000 gold ahead. I can math. Just 23 minutes in.
So I don't do math on stream, Mark. The Ninja's gonna get stunned up here by an Enchanted Crystal Arrow. No cleanse available, so eUnited do pick up a kill.
Just as I say that, eUnited does find a pick off. They have a lot of tools for it, to be fair. They have the Ash Arrow to start things off. Fox can always land a charm. Gilius can get a good insect. We know he's extremely strong Lee Sin player, so they have the ability to pick people off, but they need so many from this position. They need to be able to grab objectives off the back of them. A single kill basically does nothing but stall the game out for a little bit until Syndra's able to respond here. So a good look, but they need to find so many more of those to be able to change this game circumstance.
No towers yet to be picked up by eUnited. They have the only Drake of the game. The Cloud Drake has been picked up for them. As you mentioned, super far behind in gold, immensely behind in kills. Even more so behind in the amount of map pressure. Just a couple of wards littering their own jungle, trying to deny as much vision as possible. But EnVy, so far ahead, they can just walk forward, clear all that vision, relatively unscathed.
Talk about not doing math on stream. I feel like I should be able to do that math. If you can't do that math, you might have a problem. Gold leads.
We'll see about that. Lear, in the meantime, is going to make our math a little bit more difficult by trying to pick up another kill for his team, but just burns the Spirit Rush off of Fox and content to back away.
Ult for ult, not exactly what you want to see at this point in the game.
Fox gets aggressive, wants to go back in, but as soon as Ninja shows up, Fox dashes back out.
A little surprising to see Lear looking for a solo kill like that. Probably feeling pretty good about the game at this point, but you want to see them close it out cleanly. Maybe work around that Baron a little bit more, or join up with someone else who's trying to make a play instead of just ulting in for the 1-for-1 ult trade like that.
Well, Baron is on the map. Let's see if EnVy want to make that one a priority for themselves, or if they are content just continuing to shove up these waves, potentially get a pick off. Ninja waiting around the corner. Outside of vision, stuns up on Gilius. Utilizes the unleashed power. Darksphere's not going to land. The Morellonomicon was on him, trying to get any sort of healing given to him.
All right, I mean, we know Syndra with her ultimate does a lot of damage, but you do need to land something more than just a single Q against a MarkZ Giant's Belt Lee Sin.
Listen, man, this is the first time Ninja's playing Syndra competitively this season. He might be a little bit rusty.
I mean, he's looked good so far. He's found a lot of good openings onto eUnited and landing some big stuns in those early skirmishes. If he was missing those, easily could have gone in the way of eUnited. And you know, he's received a lot of criticism recently, and it's good to see him having a bounce-back performance here in the potential game-deciding match.
Yeah. Meanwhile, EnVy decide to put their focus down onto the Cloud Drake. Look at Ocean Drake coming up next. This is your favorite series for Drakes, isn't it? Is Ninja actually going to get jumped on? We already were praising him before, but he cleanses that one off, flashes back over the wall. Lyra's in there to help save his buddy in the mid lane. Gilius going to flash kick over the wall, but a heal comes out from Apollo. Everybody's keeping Ninja alive. 20 kills to 3 for EnVy.
EnVy there, making sure their mid laner stays up. They get 2 more kills, and now they're looking at Baron. Gilius is down. There's no potential smite steal to come in, and they're significantly far ahead, so they should be relatively safe to go for this one. Instead, looking for the turn-off on the Licorice. Want to make it guaranteed.
Walks into the chain of corruption. The bullet time is out, but that's a support misfortune. Not a lot of damage coming across for that one. Multiple members down from the side of eUnited. This looks like it is all EnVy's Baron, save for a miracle steal from Deftly and Zeyzal, who don't even think can get close because Ninja is busy zoning them out. Actually, Ninja gonna get locked up the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Hakuo flashes forward with the Stranglethorns, wants to try to pick up a kill onto Zeyzal. At the same time, they've taken down Baron Nashor. Ignite will not wind up killing. Oh, Ignite does kill Zeyzal.
Ninja just decided he didn't want a Baron buff there.
Yeah.
Throw it away, make it a little easier for eUnited. Got a little greedy going for the kill in that 2v1 situation. Does go down, but we'll take a look at the play that allowed them to get that Baron. Good charm by Fox starts this off. And this is the problem from playing from behind, is you just don't have the vision to know if this is a safe play to go for. Lyra's there to try and turn it. Great flash by Ninja, able to throw in some more damage. And then Gilius just trying to get anything out of this play, wants to finish off Ninja. It's unlikely he was going to be able to get out anyways. Not able to finish him off, gets the 2 for 0, and EnVy looks at that Baron.
Yeah, Seraph even utilizing the teleport, so they're able to capitalize by getting the Baron off the back of that fight. They catch the Poppy out, just trying to face check in, no Baron vision whatsoever. 15,000 gold ahead, 22 kills to 4. Baron buff on Team EnVy. Just under 30 minutes into the game. This is looking just like Games 1 and Games 3, Mark. They got a Baron buff on, they have Guardian Angel on their frontliner, they have multiple kills on all of their carry-type champions. They just got to push into the base, make it to Sunday.
And this is one of the things that people were saying why they thought EnVy has a good chance in this promotion tournament is that they always were a great early game team. And the problem was in the LCS, they're going up against people who match up better than them individually and have better team play in the mid to late game. So even though they get these leads, they can't convert them into match victories. But against a slightly weaker competition in the challenger scene, they can actually turn them into wins.
Ooh, Hakuo might suffer his first death of the game. He goes down to the double ultimate combination from the bot lane of eUnited. Apollo going to wind up utilizing the Quicksilver Sash to flash out of that ultimate from Lee Sin. Tries to go back in, and Gilius goes down. Lyra, in the meantime, able to hunt it up off to the side. Maybe he wants to jump on Deftly, maybe wants to jump on Fox. Looks like they're just going to zone them away.
Still being a little bit sloppy here on the side of EnVy.
Well, just a tad.
Hakuho getting caught out of position, goes down. Prior to that, Ninja getting too aggressive trying to defend that Baron take. He went down. And now Lyra zoning away from that turret, buying enough time for Apollo to finish that one off, grabbing their 4th of the game, up to about a 16,000 gold lead.
And Hakuo just had to go die. He was 5-0 and 12, now 5-1 and 12. That's the highest KDA on his team right now. Sitting very pretty with a Rylai's Crystal Scepter. Fox, in the meantime, is going to get flashed on and just deleted from the map, much like that Tier 2 mid lane tower. Only one outer tower left on the map for the side of eUnited, but it looks like the inhibitor tower is going to get the focus from EnVy. They don't have their mid laner available. Actually, They're going to back away from that tower just before it goes down. They don't want to overcommit too much. eUnited are still 4 members strong in the mid lane. They don't want to wind up tower diving for no reason.
Still have quite strong champions. We see Lyra popping that ultimate once again.
Keep inverted.
Jumping onto the turret.
Yeah, it knocks the minions away. Lyra's just going to destroy that tower. In the meantime, has to flash back out, but will stay alive. Meanwhile, whoa, the re-engage on the Gilius. He just goes down. Seraph is in the back line this entire time with the Dominus pop, chunking down members of eUnited. The inhibitor's exposed, and that's going to be Envy taking the first of the game.
They get their first inhibitor. They still got a little bit left on this Baron buff. Looks like they might try and get that last inner turret. Instead, going for the group recall. Gonna reset. No reason to force too hard here. Envy poised to go on to play in Sunday's match. Hakuho maybe a little caught out of position. Fox trying to open up onto him. He's got no friends around. Hakuho's got a long way to run to reinforcements.
Oh no, Hakuho, your KDA! Definitely gets the kill.
That's that sloppy play.
2 deaths cuts into your KDA.
Taking another look at how they actually did manage to break down that inhibitor turret. Seraph gets a good flank after pressuring in on the bot side, gets a flash stun onto Ahri, follow up by Ninja. And then we see it's still a little hard for them to completely force. They get the turret down extremely low, not able to finish it off. And then Lyra is gonna pop his ultimate here. You think it might be a zoning ultimate while the wave comes in, but nope, he's just gonna hop right onto that turret. Gets a little low after he does it here. Seems totally ignoring them, and then suddenly, eUnited's like, wait, there's a Rengar in the middle of our team. But he's able to flash out. Gilius is now in the middle of Envy, so they've took us down to him. And then Seraph tries to chase down for another kill, not actually able to get it. Envy back on the map now, still pushing down around this bot lane.
Almost 4,500 gold Baron power play. Ninja gonna dodge out of that Enchanted Corsair. They're trying to push down that last outer tower. Licorice wound up committing the flash, try to get the stun against the wall, and the Ninja did not work out. Now Sarah's trying to fray the throw. The hunt has gone off. Gilius, he chunked out by Apollo. No way whatsoever can he live through that one. Rengar's on the backside, zoning away eUnited from their last remaining outer tower. Looks like Zeyzal's not going to get quite jumped on. Decides to go on to Licorice. Just a bit of a zoning ultimate being used there. There's minions being shepherded into the mid lane here, with the super minion leading the charge there. As now Ninja and Seraph are locked up onto Licorice. Haku are going to come in with some roots. They want it taken down the Poppy. Nothing I like seeing more. 27 kills to 6. Team Envy, they're kind of playing with their food at this point.
Yeah, good restraint there by Lyra, surprisingly not jumping into the middle of 4 members. Lets his team focus on the bottom inner turret. They break that one. They break the top inhibitor turret. Seraph getting a little aggressive, forces the flash out adeptly. Envy looking to close this game out, trying to work down their second inhibitor.
Yep, 2 inhibitors will go down as the Nexus towers wind up falling as well. They just turn away from that inhibitor because they're focusing on to the Nexus towers. United, desperation fight. Their hopes of the promotion tournament are fading away from them right now. A double kill picked up for Lyra. Another one goes over to Ninja and Team Envy. 3 games to 1 will move on to Sunday and send eUnited back to Challenger.
Envy has a monster bounce back series here off the back of Lyra once again, getting huge advantages for his team in 3 of the 4 games. Ninja having a bounce back series as well, and Seraph on Camille having some huge, huge games.
Seraph, Lyra, basically all of Team Envy really showed up to play today. Game number 1, it was kind of the Lyra and Seraph show, but games 3 and 4, it was a very coordinated team effort. The bottom lane from Envy definitely stepped up in this best of 5 series. We even saw Ninja when he got the Syndra in the game number 4, wound up doing some really great stuff with it.
You see Envy not too happy overall though, knowing that they have another test ahead of them tomorrow. No, not the more celebrating quite yet. They got some more work to do.
Meanwhile, eUnited, they put up a valiant effort. They took first in the regular season of the Challenger Series, made it all the way to the finals. They were defeated by Goldcoin United. Put up a fight in the promotion tournament yesterday against Team Liquid, today against Team Envy. It was not meant to be though. We will see them in the Summer Challenger Series.
Definitely a little bit of a disappointing end to the season for eUnited. They look so strong coming into that finals versus Goldcoin United, and then they've had a string of 3-1 losses. Lost 3-1 to Goldcoin United, lost 3-1 to Envy today, and then they also lost 3-1 to Team Liquid yesterday. So obviously struggling in these best of 5s a little bit.
I mean, a team built around jungle and mid synergy with 3 rookies on their team definitely put up a fight, making it all the way to the promotion tournament, taking games off of LCS teams, making it to the Challenger Series finals. but it was not their split quite yet. Team EnVy, they hang on to fight another day tomorrow. They're going to be going up against the loser of the Team Liquid versus Goldcoin United matchup, which happened on stream number 1. Don't know actually who wound up coming out ahead in that one.
I do, Tom.
Oh, well, don't tell me, because I need to go back and watch
I'm going to keep it a secret.
VODs. All right, I won't know. I won't know till we get to stage tomorrow. But no, definitely going to be a hard-fought road for EnVy, because they wound up losing against Goldcoin United yesterday. If they were going against Team Liquid, which I actually don't know, it's going to be a hard-fought fight, because these were both teams that they played against in the North American LCS. So
yeah, I mean, either way, they have a tough battle ahead of them for tomorrow. Going to have to take their time now, regroup, rewatch the VODs probably, and come up with a game plan.
Yeah, so for a deeper dive into that EnVy victory in the best of 5, let's check on in with our analysts.
Thank you very much, Tom. EnVy rebounding from yesterday's loss, picking up the series today, putting themselves one step closer to requalifying for the LCS. Unfortunately for eUnited, this is the end of the road for them, having lost both of their series, so returning to the challenger scene for them. But EnVy looking much better today, doing it a lot in the way that we had requested of them, right? Having stronger early game performances out of Lyra, more closely matching what we saw out of them against LCS teams this entire split.
Yeah, I think this last game in particular was what we were more expecting to see from the team. Blasting the early game pretty much all around, actually. And then not necessarily having to deal with those questions that a lot of the LCS teams pose to them after they get these big leads, where they're contesting vision around the objectives like Baron, or you have to worry about all these fog of war plays.
Yeah, and I think why this game looks so lopsided, you might expect Lyra and some of the players to get ahead, some advantage wherever he goes, but in this game, everyone got ahead. Like, the lanes were already doing well. Yeah, good on you, Ninja, you had a good game. But I mean, the lanes were doing well, and when the lanes are doing well and Lyra is on form, they're going to be so far ahead that it's almost unlosable. When you have, they're near 20,000 gold up at like 23 minutes, and their advantage was ridiculous.
We speak about Lyra, so we might as well roll into it. Player of the series here, going to him this time around. Again, the expectation was that he would do this. So again, maybe not coming as a surprise, but once again, kind of cementing how crucial a role he plays in this team and their success.
And he's going to have to be really big again tomorrow, no matter who they play against.
That's true.
It's going to be a tougher opponent. eUnited did not really look that strong compared to Goldcoin or TL.
Right, you consider the fact they already lost to Goldcoin, and if they, and Goldcoin is currently losing to Team Liquid over on the other stream.
We got to check back in on that one.
Yeah, we will check back in on that in a second, but things, as I was mentioned, they only get more difficult for EnVy, but at least they're coming in off of the victory now, have a little bit more of an established mentality in terms of, okay, this is what we expect to do, this is what we need to recreate tomorrow.
This is definitely going to be a confidence builder as far as a way to end out a series as well. Those are the types of gold graphs you like to see as a coach, and they'll want to review the earlier stages, or the earlier games in the series, but yeah, they'll definitely be heading in with a bit more confidence.
And I think that's big, and also just in their picks. I think that Camille has been big, Renekton is big. You keep Seraph on those. You put Ninja on just like something a bit more safe, and you count on Lyra to do what he does best.
I was absolutely impressed with the Camille play in the top lane, and I'll be curious to see how they approach that, because yesterday wasn't much of a contested pick. I mean, we saw it hit the ban table, but never really making it onto the Rift. Today, made appearances in both series, so playing much more of a role today.
Exactly. Camille and Renekton, both sort of early games or snowbally champions that can get out of hand.
Yep.
Where usually in the LCS, we wouldn't see Camille get as fed that quickly and get to the point where you're
kills
like,
in 12 minutes
Camille
is
again.
like, you're not supposed to lose
15,
to a
was
Camille
15-minute Trinity Force or something? Yeah. You don't
sick.
see that type of stuff like Snowball as hard, so it'll be interesting to see if EnVy, even if they can get that pick again, can have the same kind of, snowball effect.
Now remember, of course, EnVy plays tomorrow against the loser of Team Liquid versus GCU, which is happening right now over on the other stream. But I want to talk about that series tomorrow, even though we don't know exactly who they're going to play yet. All right, in one scenario, they play the team that they just lost to yesterday in 3-1 fashion. So, one, how do you recover from that? What mistakes are they looking to clean up that we saw in the series there? And then on the flip side, if you're going in against TL, I mean, TL is smashing kids right now in terms of creating similar leads from the bot lane and their jungler.
I mean, I think TL is a tougher matchup on paper, certainly, and I think that bot lane is not something that you can necessarily rely on. Against Goldcoin, I do think most people expected EnVy to win, and I think that EnVy, at their best, if they are being aggressive early and Lyra is able to get stuff done, they can win. So it's just same game plan as it always is for EnVy, but they have to be able to execute.
And there are some learnings that they can take away from Team Liquid's game that they're playing right now. If that happens to be their opponent, it probably won't because they're predicted to win that one out. But the Karthus is definitely a wrinkle that they'll have some more information on and be able to deal with.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I have to imagine that the NV players probably
like an ADGP.
It's kind of like an ADGP. I have to imagine the NV players, they just, I have to imagine they ran off the stage and are immediately posting themselves up in front of a TV to go ahead and look at that TL GCU series and how to play out. We're going to do the same. Toss you guys over to NALCS 1 for Game 4 between Gold